live in the studio here. Viewpoint is the program, and our guest this morning is Dr. Alyssa Schneider. This has been a eureka moment for me, Mrs. Busby and Jim. I now learn why I'm so doggone short. My mother didn't take me straight from Deaconess Hospital to get me pulled. so perhaps I ought to speak my legislative and have that done all the time. Excuse me, go ahead.
My grandma was a midwife, and Grandpa was the anesthetist, and they never lost a patient,
Really?
amazingly. And my dad says he remembers coming home late at night, and when he was a young buck, and Grandma would have her feet on the oven door with the oven going and a new baby in her lap, and she'd be molding its head so that it would be a nice round...
Really?
Yeah, that's what my dad told me that. Yeah. Yes. And so that it would be a nice round head, not funny shaped.
That's another thing
Now,
I didn't get.
Could you ever... would that work?
Well, yes. Over the break that we just talked about, we know babies' heads are soft. We all know that.
Yeah, they are.
Sure. Yeah.
Those are not...
And they got that fentanyl there that Paul states makes very sick.
Yes, yes. Those are not fully developed bones. Most of babies' bones, like you said, are a lot like cartilage.
Pliable.
So they're pliable. They're a little soft. They've got some structure to them, sure. But yeah, you see some babies that have been laid on their back too much. They have that flat
Right.
back of their head.
Yeah.
So yeah, they do. They can be molded, I suppose. I haven't really
Never
heard
heard
of
of
anybody
that.
doing that, but that's...
Well, this was before
Good.
your
Give 'em a
time.
beautifully
it was even
shaped
before
head.
mine.
Well, you're supposed to learn something new every day, Jim. That takes care of today.
Got that out of the way.
I don't have to go out and seek any further knowledge today. 648-5510 before we close up here, close shop. This might be somebody have a chiropractic question or just a straight question for Dr. Alyssa Schneider. By the way, she's a local product, daughter of Joe and Bridget Schneider. So this is a girl who's come home to apply her professional knowledge to help those who might need those services. Is there one particular thing, Dr. Alyssa, that your patients come to you for other than mind run? What specifically one big thing would cause a patient to seek chiropractic services? I suppose pain would be the word of the day.
Pain is the word of the day. Nobody likes to deal with pain.
Yeah.
Not so much.
A lot of people can deal with just kind of regular run-of-the-mill pain. They take their over-the-counter anti-inflammatories and pain relievers and that. But typically, when I see people that there's no question in their mind they're going to seek a chiropractor, it's when they have that pinched nerve situation that we talked about. Although I have the second biggest, I would say, is pain caused from postural problems in the workplace. So that was a...
How about athletes? Do you see a lot of kids who play soccer and football and
I do.
all the contact sports?
I do.
Which covers a myriad.
I see a lot of athletes, and with kids, they're so resilient and they heal quickly. I love treating younger adults and children because, like I said, they get better very quickly. They respond to treatment really well. But I will say that this year, and I don't know if it's because the ground is so hard in football, but I have seen a lot of football especially. And I know football is rough on the body, but it seems, I don't know if it's, like I said, the hard ground or what it is, but people are coming in from football in pain.
Yeah, right.
It's amazing the equipment that has evolved in a sport like football down through the years, going back to my time, when they had those crazy old funny looking leather helmets and kind of unusual shoulder pads and shin pads and so forth. But today, of course, we have these very, very professionally advanced and I'm sure very expensive helmets that hopefully preclude a lot of head injuries. Do you have cases where a patient will just almost literally crawl through your front door?
I've had it, yes. I've had it before.
Got
them all up and walking again, so I've got a good track record with that. But yeah, sure. I mean, there's a lot of cases where pain can be just debilitating.
Oh gosh, yes.
And you know, depending on the exam, I always do a thorough exam of those people. I want to make sure that it's something I can treat. If I have to send them for imaging of any kind, I do that. You know, just to make sure we're treating the right thing.
Is the incorporation of deep heating, and I think there are other titles for that sort of process, is that new, relatively speaking, to the practice of chiropractic?
The therapies, I think, now, I'm kind of a newbie, you know, just being in practice for a year. Not that I just over the history of chiropractic, I think it used to be typically a lot more strictly adjustments.
Yes.
Not a lot of extra therapies, but we've found out that the therapies really help the treatment course and help the patient get better faster. And that's what we want. We want the patient to get better faster, and that's another reason I do a lot of those therapies that you talked about. And I also make sure that I do rehabilitation with the patient, so I give them, you know, exercise to strengthen that area to keep them out of my office. I know nobody wants to be in the doctor all the time.
Yeah, right. But I tell you what, if you got a bad back or a bad what have you, you're just darn glad there is a doctor's office so that you can get some relief.
Yes.
And thank goodness for people like you who are in a position to give that relief.
Yes, yes.
We appreciate your sharing your time with us. I know you have a busy schedule, Dr. Schneider.
Well, thank you for having me.
We thank you for taking your time this morning to come in and hopefully tell our listeners a little bit more about their backs and their spines and how they might seek relief if they have particular problems. We always try to close the program with a quote of some sort that's germane to the subject of the day, and I found one that said, "There's not much fun in medicine, but there's a whole lot of medicine in having fun." Thank you for Viewpoint. Thank you, Dr. Alyssa Schneider.
Thank you.